right, so we've known this guy for a little while. This is a photo of the first time we met Dr. Willie Jolley in. Do you remember where it was?
2006, Orlando.
No, it was 2007.
2007. Phoenix?
I take that back. We did meet him in Orlando. We were in an elevator and we nervously said hello to him. And then it took a whole year before we got up the courage to ask to get a picture with him. And this was in San Diego. And then
he's like, who are these young pups?
Yeah,
I don't know who these people
nice
are.
Look how I remember this because I had totally forgotten to wear dress clothes and I had to buy that red shirt in San Diego. Last minute
nightmare.
Look at how nice Willie looks, and look at how I look like a schlub with this little red shirt.
That's how new we were, Willie. Yeah.
But we did clean ourselves up. We did get a chance to see him again this summer in Las Vegas. Look, we all look better.
Yeah, age is good for us.
Yeah.
Right?
So we are very excited about this. So a little background here: Dr. Willie Jolley has been called the most powerful speaker, singer, and author combination in the world today.
I agree.
Who's going to argue with that?
Right.
Dr. Jolley was named one of the outstanding 5 speakers in the world by Toastmasters International. For several years, he traveled the country providing inspiration and motivation to thousands per city as the replacement for the legendary Zig Ziglar on the national Get Motivated tour. And we went to the Get Motivated. I think it was one of Zig's last performances. It was quite an honor to be able to see that. But he's also the author of several best-selling books, including Setback is a Setup for a Comeback, the host of the #1 motivational show on SiriusXM, and a popular podcast as well. He's National Speakers Association Hall of Fame member. He's inspired millions of people around the globe. Please welcome to the Escape Adulthood Live, Dr. Willie Jolley.
Yay! Oh, we have to...
There we go. Hello there. How are you?
Good to see ya. He's frozen in time. He looks happy, though.
Yeah, he does.
Hey!
All of that great intro. I heard the great intro. The next thing I saw was Jason like this.
How are you today, sir?
Greetings. I'm awesome. I'm grateful. I'm excited about being on with you two. And y'all are wonderful. For those who don't know, that picture of this year was a picture where I had shifted positions. Okay. The earlier picture was one where they said they were fans of mine. Well, the 2021, I was fans of them.
Aww.
They did a session at NSA that was just phenomenal. And everybody in the room wanted to know them, wanted to have time with them. So you guys just are awesome. I'm grateful that I'm able to be here with you this evening, and I'm grateful for your invitation. And I greet all your viewers, all your listeners, all your tribe. As I greet every audience wherever I am, I start the same way. I have only just a minute, only 60 seconds in it. Forced upon me, I can't refuse it. I didn't seek it, I didn't choose it, but it's up to me to use it. I must suffer if I lose it, give account if I abuse it. Oh, it's just a tiny little minute, but our eternities are wrapped up in it. So I'm grateful for this minute, this moment, to be on with the two of you, Jason and Kim, who are superstars in my eyes, not just because of their ability to speak and what they have created with their gifts and talents, but because of what they're doing with their children, what they're doing with their families, what they're doing for others to encourage them to see a model of a couple who loves each other, who loves their family, and who are willing to work together to build a dream. So I'm just honored to be here with the two of you.
Well, that is tremendously flattering. That means a lot coming from you. So thank you very much. And I got to tell you, we go way back. Do you recognize this guy?
Wow!
And then of course you reference this one, but my dad.
Y'all got the ones. Yeah, y'all got the ones where I had hair.
Yeah. Looked pretty good. Looked pretty good. My
Yeah,
dad gave me
thank
those
you.
books, and I read them years
Wow,
and years ago. So
fantastic.
that when we came to Orlando for our first NSA convention, and I saw you were there, my dad was the first one I called. I'm like, Willie Jolley is here. You will. I can't even believe it. Like it was just amazing. So
Because
yeah,
he had heard you speak. Jason's dad heard you speak at like a lumber conference or something,
Yeah,
right?
long
Something
time ago.
industry related, and so you had those books. So
Yeah.
that's pretty
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, thank you. Thank you, and I'm very grateful. Thank you.
Well, I got to ask you one thing. When I think of you, I always think of enthusiasm and positivity and energy. And have you always been like this? Do you wake up like this? What happens when you don't? What do you do?
Well, first of all, I'll answer the first question. Have I always been like that? I've always been an extrovert, okay? But I was in the music business, so I was on stage, so it worked very well as an extrovert in a entertainment venue or capacity. Uh, when I became a speaker, though, I had to learn how to keep it contained so that I would not be all over the place. And so that was very important. Now, in terms of the positive attitude, I wake up every day with the same routine. I wake up, I look up, and I see the clock or the television or whatever, and I wake up and I see something and I say, "Wow, thank you." Thank you. I say, God, thank you. I got another one. First of all, first thing out of my mouth every morning is thank you. I got another one. Okay, I got a shot. I got another shot. And then I make up my mind, no matter what the challenges are, that there are people in the graveyard who would gladly choose to change places. So once I get that mindset shift, no matter what the challenges are, no matter what the problems are, then it gives me a certain kind of enthusiasm. And so those who don't know, the word enthusiasm is from the Greek word entheos, which means the God within. And so I let that God within wake up and get going. Well, as I get up and get going, and we get together and we start to talking to folks, and I go out and then I do a little thing I do every day. I go out every day, and wherever I am in the country when I was traveling, but here in Washington, and I say good morning to at least 10 people. I say good morning to 10 people. Now, some say nothing back. Some grunt. But I don't care about what they say because I'm not saying it for them. I'm saying it for me. See, if I hear good morning 10 times, then I'm on my way to a good afternoon. And if I had a good morning and a good afternoon, I'm on my way to a good evening. And if I had a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, I'm on my way to a good day. And if I had that good day, then I just repeat that 7 times and I had a good week. And I repeat that week 4 times and I've had a good month. And I repeat that month 12 times, I had a good year. And it sounds so simple. But, you know, the simple things in life are some of the greatest things. You know, there's a book that said, the things we need to succeed in life, we learned in kindergarten. Mm-hmm. Be kind to people. Say thank you, please, a lot. Say, I appreciate you. Say, I'm sorry when you hurt somebody's feelings. Share the little place in the sandbox with others. Little things we learn that can make a big difference. Mm-hmm. And when you get some money from your parent, don't spend it all. Keep a few pennies back for some candy tomorrow, you know? So some simple principles that we learn in kindergarten. So I'm enthusiastic, Jason. Every day I wake up, I'm enthusiastic. And even in challenging days, even the challenging times, the tough days, I find a way to reframe the tough days and make them into good days. There's a friend of mine who has a quote that says, only difference between a good day and a bad day is your attitude.
Mm-hmm. Truth bomb.
And that's true.
Yeah. So, well, speaking of challenging days, it's been a it's been a challenging 18 months, right? And I know you have been at the forefront of encouraging people through this pandemic. I mean, you've built a career on helping people see setbacks as opportunities for a comeback. I think we can relate to that right now, like being knocked down and having a tough go. But like, what are things like you could talk for hours and hours on this, but what are some things right now that you think are the most relevant things that people need to be reminded of as we try to pull ourselves out of this last 18 months and turn this around for good?
Yeah, this has been the most challenging time we as humans in our lifetime have seen. We've gone from, in America too, we have some situations, but globally, we got a pandemic, economic downturn, massive job loss, racial strife, social upheaval, political division, ecological calamity, fires, these fires in California, unbelievable. Hurricanes coming, Haiti, earthquakes, just stuff, drama. So what do you do? Well, here's what I'm telling people to do. Number one, do not panic. Do not panic. Panic is taken from the Greek word to choke. And when you panic, you choke off the air to your brain. And when you choke off the air to your brain, you cannot think clearly and you cannot make wise choices. In 1929, there was a stock market crash. People panicked. Some jumped off of bridges. Some took guns and blew out their brains, not realizing that this too shall pass. Look, don't panic. We'll get through this. In fact, I recorded a song during the lockdown called We'll Get Through This that I decided to record because I was locked in. Couldn't go anywhere. So I took my iPad, my iPhone, my computer, and went to my piano, and I recorded a song called We'll Get Through This. And I sent it out, and Les Brown said, my God, this is the best thing I've heard in weeks, months. This way. So he started playing, he sent it out to everybody. I started getting all these responses. It became viral. And it was just because I was sharing with people that we'll get through this. Now, here's the other thing about don't panic. And y'all are young, but here's what I've learned in 30 years of speaking. That every decade, there's going to be a crisis. Just about every decade, there's a major crisis. It was 9/11. Then almost 10 years, not quite 10 years later, was the 2008 economic bubble burst. Mm-hmm. And now we're in a pandemic. And this is going on for 18 months. I don't expect that we'll see any major changes till 2022. And so we'll maybe get some normalcy. But there's another one down the road. There's another crisis down the road. So what you must do is learn from this one. Take lessons from this one. Cues from this one. I learned a lot in 9/11, which helped me in 2008, which helped me in the pandemic. And every time I'm learning more, and I'm learning, I'm journaling, and I'm listening, and I'm being around people like you who are so creative, and I'm learning new things. So I'm even on TikTok now. Come on, somebody. So don't panic. Look for the opportunities. There are great opportunities in the midst of storms. That there's some opportunities. You got to look for them. Yep. And so we now are able to do this. This is like my third one today interview, and I'm here. I used to have to go to a TV station. I have to leave home. I haven't left home except I haven't gotten my car today. I haven't driven my car today. I went for a bike ride this morning. That was it. Okay, I'm grooving. I'm having fun. So I'm grateful. So first of all, don't panic. Number two, don't willingly participate nor commiserate in gloom and doom. Don't buy into gloom and doom.
This is a tough one.
Okay, you can't buy into the gloom and doom. Mm-hmm. Now, that means you cannot buy into all the bad news, just the the world is coming to an end. You've got to find something good to talk about, something positive to be grateful for. You've got to find something. Don't dwell on all the negative, because you have limited capacity to handle it. Yeah. So I learned that in 9/11. People were glued to the television after 9/11, but they got sadder and sadder and sadder and sadder. And I realized it's like a sponge. A sponge has a purpose. Its job is to soak up water, and you put it there and it soaks up the water. Now, if you took that sponge and you put it in a bucket of water, then it's going to be oversaturated and it can't do what it was created to do. People were created to be productive. We were created to make a difference. We were created to achieve. But if we sit there and we are overwhelmed by the gloom and doom, it makes us, before long, we aren't able to do anything except be sad. So I learned how to turn off the television in those times of places and times when there are crisis moments, and you could easily be glued to the TV. I turn it off, and I will listen to some positive music. I'll read something positive. I got a whole playlist on my computer of upbeat, uplifting, encouraging music. I even created some of it. I mean, if you go to the Win with Willie site, you'll see that We'll Get Through This Song. It'll bless you. But I've got a whole CD of songs I've recorded that are uplifting, encouraging music. And I listen to them every day just to stay positive. So number one is don't panic. Number two, don't buy into the gloom and doom. And number three, don't let your pride poison your prosperity. Don't let your pride poison your. What does that mean? That means when economic times are tough, you cannot let your pride get in the way of you surviving. That means you might have to drive Uber. Okay? You might have to do DoorDash. It's okay. It's legal. It's moral. It's ethical. It's nothing wrong with it. But some people would rather say, I don't want my friends to see me driving Uber or doing DoorDash. What will they think of me? But I tell a story about one of my mentors who was one of the first big IT companies in Washington. He had a lot of these big government contracts. He hired the best and the brightest from Harvard, MIT, Howard University, Hampton Institute. I mean, the greatest technology people he could find. And things were going great. He was booming and blossoming. But then there was a recession that came up upon the country. And it was crunching. It was crippling. But he did not want to lay off any of these high-end people. Back then, it wasn't a lot of people in IT. So he didn't want to lay off these experts in IT. So what he did every day, he'd go to work at 8 o'clock in the morning and work from 8 to 6 as the CEO of that company. Then at 6 o'clock, he would have dinner, he'd change his clothes, and from 7 o'clock to 2 a.m., he would drive a trash truck. He said, I drove a trash truck to get me through college. I can do it again. And he survived by driving a trash truck to pay his bills. Then he was able to take his CEO money, pay his employees so they wouldn't have to be laid off. And a year later, he had not laid off anybody. The economy came back. He stopped driving the trash truck. And 5 years later, he was able to sell that company for $600 million because he didn't lay off those people.
Oh, goosebumps.
Don't let
That's amazing.
Don't let your pride poison your prosperity. If it's legal and moral, it's good. Okay? So people will and in fact, you'll be proud about it because they'll say you're scrappy. Okay?
That's great.
Right, so those are three big things that will help you through these tough times.
What would you say? I love these. I hear people that when you talk about don't get caught up in the negativity. What would you say to people who are like, well, I'm trying to be informed, like the people who are glued to the TV, they're on social media, they want to be informed. And I get the point, but what do you say to that? Because there's a fine line there where
there's news that comes. I watch the 6:30 or 7 o'clock news. I try and watch that. that is a capsized news. I can do a half hour. Give me the major stories. There's a hurricane coming my way. I want to know that, okay? But I don't need to be overwhelmed by all of the information. I don't need to be on social media reading all day because it is distracting from my purpose. See, everybody got a purpose. And I love this quote by Les Brown. He said something. He said, your job is what you do for a living, but your calling, your purpose is what you do for your life, for your making. To live your making, and in living your making, you'll make a living. I can't make my living or live my making if I'm distracted by all the negative news. I got to raise my consciousness. Yes, I want to know what's going on. If there's a tornado coming here, a tornado watch, I want to know that. If there's a hurricane coming my way, if there's something, I don't need to be there all day doing that. I can get that in a capsized manner. If there's an alert, I got it on my cell phone, and I'll get the alert. It says, okay, tornado, go, we don't have tornadoes really in DC, but, we are able now in America to get capsized information. I don't need to dwell on it all day long. I got work to do. Yeah. I got a reason to be here. I got a mission. I got a purpose. I have some, Zig used to say, we were designed for achievement. We were created for productivity. You were engineered for success. Now, if you choose not to accept that, then you will not be all you were designed to be. I'm trying to play all out. I want to live full and die empty. Okay? What that means is I want to give my all the days I got on here. Nobody knows how long you're going to be here. Some days, some people here one day, gone the next. But what I do know is if I can live with all I got every day. Frank Sinatra has a famous saying that says, live every day as if it's your last. One day you'll be right. So I'm living all in. And when I die, I want to die empty. I don't want to have nothing left out on the field. I want to give it my all. My mama used to say, you can wear out or you can rust out. You choose. See, I'd rather wear out. I'm not going to sit around and be rusty. I'm going to give. So I can't do that if I'm distracted by all the negative news and all the naysayers. So I got to stay on my purpose, on my goals. I got big goals and dreams I'm trying to achieve. And I got stuff I want to do so that when I go, even the Undertaker will be sad to see me go.
I love that.
I feel like I should be taking notes. These are you're just dropping so many truth bombs, and our comments are going crazy over here, Dr. Jolley, of just people like Brian. Can you put Brian's up?
This one here?
Yes.
Yeah, he's loving the don't let your pride poison your prosperity.
They're quoting you, but just lots of gratitude here for.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Brian. Rachel. Yeah. Thank you, Rachel. Thank you.
It's great.
I appreciate it.
So here's what I want to know. One of the things we talk about here is this terrible disease that we have coined called adultitis, which is what happens when you lose that childlike spark and you get grumpy and negative and pretty much the opposite of you. So one of the things I'd love to ask you is when you encounter people who have adultitis, whether it's temporary or they're just one of those people, what strategies do you have for dealing with them? Do you kind of ignore them? Do you try to?
I tell them, look here. No, I tell them, don't tighten up, lighten up. Don't tighten up, lighten up. Life is short and unpredictable. Eat dessert first. I mean, come on, baby. This is trying to be alive. And look, here's my motto in life. I plan to die young. At an old age. At 105, I still be planning to ride my bicycle. At 105, I'm still looking for my wife, trying to get next to her. So, 105, I'm trying to die young at an old age.
You guys see why we like them now, right?
Did you hear me say earlier what I did today? I haven't driven my car. What did I do? I rode my bicycle. Mm-hmm. I still ride my bike like I was a kid. I ride my bike every day, okay? I do 10 to 20 miles every day just riding, going around seeing stuff. I'm riding my bicycle. I don't need my car today. Look, during the pandemic, I put on many more miles on my bike than I did on my car. And I got a really nice car. I like my car. It's fun. It's fast, but I like being a kid. Okay. Life is short and unpredictable. Enjoy it.
I love that.
That's great.
That's what I would say to them, Jason.
Yeah. Well, okay. So here I want to ask you this. I bet you've never been asked this question before.
Ooh, that's quite a bold claim.
Well, what is a food, sound, or smell that reminds you of your childhood?
Okay. Food, sound.
Ooh, you're right. I've never heard that question before. A food, a sound, or a smell that reminds me of my childhood. Well, the sound would be my sound. It would be sound. My mother was a school teacher. She loved jazz. And every morning, she would play jazz records on our hi-fi stereo component set. Y'all don't even know what that means, okay? A hi-fi stereo. So she would play Duke Ellington, Count Basie, and she played one by a guy named Horace Silver. And every time I've ever heard it, I think about those moments when my mama was getting us up ready for school and she was playing this music. And it was this song called Mumble. And the guy was playing the piano, and he'd mumble. And every time I hear that song, I think about my mama and how she loved jazz and how she encouraged us to have music appreciation, which led to my brother becoming the first jazz major to graduate from Howard University. He lobbied the president to create a jazz studies division of music for Howard University. Now they're known as one of the great places for jazz. He lobbied for that. He was the first jazz major. That also ended up in myself. When I started my music career, I was a jazz singer. And I won the awards. Some of them you can see in the background. Maybe you can't. Hold on. Other way. There you go. Nope. Other way. There you go. Over there. There. Those are best jazz singer, best entertainer, best jazz performer. Year after year, I would get those awards. So, I was a jazz singer before I became a speaker, and so that was part of my success as a speaker. Was I was able to take that improvisational skill as a jazz singer and take it to the platform as a speaker and let things just kind of flow. When people would say, well, what is he going to talk about? We don't really know. It's not a canned speech. That's for sure.
That's awesome.
Which is such a gift. And that gift of entertainment that you bring, I think that's what delights people. It surprises people. Those are two words we love in our business, to delight and surprise people, because that's very childlike, right? When we're kids, everything is kind of a surprise because you're kind of experiencing things brand new. And I think you give that to your audiences. We were among those, and in Vegas, when you emceed the award dinner, I'm like, what's going to come next? Oh, he's going to sing a song, or, you had surprises for us all night, and it was delightful at every turn, right?
Yep.
So what a gift that you give your audiences, whether on your radio show or, your virtuals or whatever you're doing,
In fact, let me give people how they can hear my radio show.
Yes.
I'm on SiriusXM. It's the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways Show. It airs at 4 o'clock on Saturdays, 4 o'clock Eastern. And then it re-airs Tuesday and Thursday at 6 p.m. And each week I might have someone, and I think this week coming up will be Coach Dungy and JB from CBS Sports, two of my dear friends that are going to be on. Damon John, Les Brown, Gladys Knight, General Powell, Bill Marriott. I've been blessed to have a network of people who, when I call them, they say yes. So I'm grateful and I'm grateful. So yeah, tune into that. And those who don't have XM can just go to my podcast, the Willie Jolley Wealthy Ways podcast, and get it 24/7 on C-Suite, iHeart, Spotify, Stitcher, TuneIn, and Apple Podcasts. So awesome. Just go and get it. Yay.
Good. Well, we're getting close to being done. If anyone has a question they want to throw in before we let Willie go, I wanted to pull up Steve here. Says, Dr. Willie, you are a great example of wholehearted living. You've captured soul and role alignment. Love your energy and passion. Keep shining. I can vouch for that for sure. So throw in a question in the chat if you have a question. I have a question. You talk about some of the people that you have interviewed. You've interviewed and talked to so many successful people. Is there a theme that has developed? Is there something that those people have that is common?
Yes, absolutely. Great question, Jason. Great question. You know, I've interviewed probably close to now 200 high achievers, and something I've learned from them that they all have. They have an optimism that good is coming, that good is out there. And I love this quote, and I'm going to share this. I keep it on my wall from one of our NSA members that kind of encapsulates all of the thinking that these people. You cannot do all the good that the world needs, but the world needs all the good you can do.
That's great.
You know, so look, I want to give everybody, I think I told WJ Wow, go get some of the free resources there. But some people might say, well, you know what? I want to grow my thinking. I want to grow my family's thinking. I want to grow my spouse's thinking. I want some of his resources. I want some of his books, some of his programs. If you'll go to wjspeaks.com/success, wjspeaks.com/success, there's a page there. We got some free stuff. We got some digital stuff. We got some physical stuff. And then we got my box. I don't have one over here, but I got a big old box. That's the real deal, because that's all of my books, all my CDs, all my audio books, all my PBS specials, all there. So go get that. One thing I do want to tell y'all about, though, because y'all are such a great married couple. This is my pride and joy. Ooh. Make love, make money, make it last. 10 Secrets to Shape a Great Marriage. Aww. This is a book written by me and my bride. We're newlyweds. How dare us write a book about marriage? But we're newlyweds. June 28th, we celebrated 36 years of marriage. Aww. And we're just getting started. And we've been married for 36 years, haven't had an argument in over 34 years. Have not had an argument in 34 years. Now, someone on a TV show said, y'all never argue? I said, I didn't say that. We haven't had an argument in 34 years. Those first couple of years were like World War III, okay? But we learned some wise principles from some wise mentors that changed our marriage. We went from arguing to loving, and we haven't gone back, and we're not going back. But we created systems that keep us from arguing. We don't agree all the time, but we have systems. We put it in the book. Now we got so many people who are saying, that book changed my marriage, changed my life, changed our future. Thank you. And that's what we wrote the book, because we knew that 50% of people in America are divorcing. And statistics show of the 50% that remain, 40% of those people are miserable and are only staying in the marriage because of the children or because of economics, cash or the kids, one or the other. And what we want to do is to reverse that trend. We want people who got married for some reason, something got them into the marriage, that they can recapture that. And so we want to save more marriage. So when we wrote the book, one singular goal: save 1 million marriages and enhance 1 million marriages. And if we do that, we've done our job. That's our pride and joy. So if you go to winwithwillie.com, which is the website, you'll see the Jolley Marriage little icon. Click it, go in there, and there's a free chapter in there for you. Just go in. The biggest chapter in the book is communication. It's in there. It's free, and we want to help people. If you don't buy the book, at least use that chapter. But if you get the book, get 2 copies. Get 2 copies, one for each of you. So you can grow together. Not one of you read it and then the other one read it. No, you grow together and you prosper together.
I love that.
What a gift that you two have created. I can't wait to read it.
Yeah.
And we did get a chance to meet your beautiful bride in Vegas, and she's got a spark in her eye for you, Willie. It is so cute. I have to tell you. Not that you don't know that, but I saw it.
Isn't that something? She still got the spark for me. I don't know what I did, but I hope she doesn't figure out that I'm not worthy. Thank you for saying that. She's fabulous. She's brilliant, and she is just amazing. I'm grateful.
Aww.
Well, Kelsey says, thank you, Dr. Willie. Can't wait to listen to this and repeat. Great reminders. And Julie wants to know, what is guaranteed to put a smile on Dr. Jolley's face?
Besides his beautiful wife.
Yeah.
Besides my beautiful wife, what puts a smile on my face? That's a great question. Wow, there's so much that puts a smile on my face. But when I think about how grateful I am, I'm really grateful. I am grateful. And that's learned. It's learned optimism. There's a book called Learned Optimism. But gratitude is a learned skill set. And when I wake up in the morning, as I said, I thank God. Thank you, God. I get another one. And when I think about how blessed I am, I'm healthy, thank God. I got a few dollars in the bank, thank God. I got a great wife, thank God. But what happened if I hadn't? I got a great son. I got family members who I love. But what happened if I hadn't had all of that? I'll give you one last thing. I was in the gym one day. And a man came up to me because he walked by me and I said, good morning. Like I said, good morning to everybody. And he stopped. He said, why you say it's good morning? I said, because I woke up. He said, well, what happened if you hadn't woke up? I said, I'd still be grateful. I'd be grateful for two reasons. One, I'd be grateful for what I had been blessed with thus far. And second, I got great faith that I don't believe that this is the end of my story when I leave this place. I'm going somewhere and it's going to be good. And I said, so I'd be grateful either way. He said, I don't get it. He walked away. But then about 10 minutes later, he came up to me and I'm on the bike, we're working out. He said, I got to talk to you. I said, what's up? He said, I envy you because you're not worried about dying. I said, no, I'm not. He said, I sometimes can't sleep because I'm worried about dying. I worry all night whether I'm going to wake up in the morning. I want what you got. I said, it's free. It's free, man. And I told him about my faith. I told him about how I see the world. And he said, that's what I want. And so, folks, I'm encouraging all of you to be grateful. That puts a smile on my face, just thinking about friends and family. We live in a great country with all its issues that we can still do great things. And I'm an example that you don't have to be the brightest bulb in the pack to do all right in America. I'm the half of the class that made the top half possible in high school, okay? But I am grateful that I made it happen. So I'm grateful for you two. Oh. You two are doing something so unique, so outstanding I love this, Escape Adulthood. I love it. And I love what y'all talked about. And I love how you spoke into people with such a flair for being just nothing like extravagant. You just spoke to people and it moved everybody in the room. And so y'all are awesome. I want to applaud you. I want to applaud all of the people who are looking and listening. I hope all of y'all will become part of my network and my tribe. When you come to my website, just sign in and follow me. And I forgot to tell you one last thing. Monday nights at 9 o'clock. My wife and I do a TV show that's online called Make Love, Make Money, Make It Last, the broadcast. It's on Facebook Live and on Instagram and on LinkedIn Live. So you can follow me on A Jolley Marriage on Facebook, A Jolley Marriage on Instagram, and then if you just follow me on Willie Jolley, you'll get alert when it happens. Every Monday night, 9 o'clock Eastern. We talk about the 3 things that break up marriages, and I want y'all to stay together: sex, money, and communication. We're going to walk you through how to win in all 3.
That is awesome.
What a gift you are. Yep. Seriously. And your beautiful wife. Tell her thank you from us for the gift of yourself. And I think that's what we're all seeing. And I see it in the comments too. Willie, is people are
you
just
got frozen again.
Oh. Uh-oh. Oh no. Can you see me? Is it frozen still?
Yeah, we can see you now. We were frozen for a minute. We were
Well, that's how we started. We might as well end that way. That's good.
It's the bookends, you know.
There you go.
Thank you so much for taking the time to be with us tonight and for your gracious words and thoughtfulness. People are just loving everything you had to say. You've got some brand new fans here. So thank you so much for being with us and have an amazing night.
God bless you.
Y'all be blessed. God bless y'all. And bless everybody who's watching. See y'all.
Thanks,
Bye-bye.
Dr. Willie.